trying to get Folks, we will begin in 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We would like to welcome you to the 15th NMIFA Ordinary Conference. So we are also honored to have with us tonight the Governor of CNMI, Honorable David M. Atatan, House Speaker Edwin Villagomez, Senator Jim Snyder, and from the Office of U.S. Delegate Kimberly King-Hayes, Policy Advisor, Mr. Matthew Leon Guerrero. We also would like to acknowledge the NMIFA President, Mr. Jerry Tan, members of the NMIFA Executive Committee, Mr. Wesley Bolden, Mrs. Catherine Atang Torres, Mr. Alex Ulan, and also our club presidents and general secretaries, delegates, and distinguished guests. Welcome again. Our NMIFA Vice President, Ms. Vicky Izuka, is unable to join us tonight and sends her regrets. She's off island. And before we begin the Congress, we kindly ask everyone to observe the following housekeeping rules.
Turn off mobile phones or put them on silent mode. Only delegates of NMIFA are allowed to participate in the discussion. If someone needs to speak, please raise your green card and make a request to the President. Speak loudly and clearly to be understood. The proceedings are being recorded. Pursuant to the current NMIFA statutes adopted in the fall NMIFA Ordinary Congress on October 28, the two delegates shall exercise the right to vote on behalf of the member. Currently, NMIFA has 7 ordinary member clubs. The agenda of an ordinary Congress may be altered provided 2/3 of the members present at the Congress and eligible to vote agree to such a motion. For a vote on an amendment to the statute to be valid, a simple majority, more than 50% of the members eligible to vote must be present, and a proposal for an amendment to the statute shall be adopted only if 2/3 of the members present and eligible to vote agree to it. Except for voting on proposals to amend statutes, to amend the agenda, and to expel a member, other matters put to a vote require a simple majority in the affirmative to pass or adopt. Article 29, Decision of the Congress states, the decision that requires a vote shall be reached by a show of hands or by means of an electronic count. Since we are not using an electronic device, voting will be done by showing the voting cards placed on each voting delegate's table, unless otherwise decided by the Congress. If the showing of cards does not result in a clear majority in favor of a motion, the vote shall be taken by calling the roll in alphabetical order. Executive committee members and the General Secretary are not entitled to vote. Subject matters that are not on the agenda will not be entertained.
And that concludes the announcement on the Congress housekeeping rules. Before we begin with our Congress, we just want to, would like to make a special presentation because this year is also the 20th anniversary of the NMIFA. So, over the past 2 decades, our football community has grown in strength, capacity, and unity, thanks to your continued support and collaboration. We are honored to share congratulatory messages from the presidents of the Asian Football Confederation, East Asian Football Federation, Japan Football Association, and U.S. Delegate Kimberly King-Hines.
A message from the AFC President. Dear delegates of the Northern Mariana Islands Football Association Congress, on behalf of the Asian Football Confederation, it is with great pleasure to extend my sincerest congratulations to NMIFA on celebrating 20 years of dedicated efforts in developing and promoting football across your islands. As the newest member of the AFC family, NMIFA's outstanding journey under the visionary leadership of President Mr. Jerry Tan is truly admirable, and I commend him for his devotion to elevating the standards of our great game. Infrastructure investment represents a key component for long-term growth, and I must praise the NMIFA for spearheading the expansion of playing fields across the islands. This dedication to providing more facilities is crucial as we seek to spur the progress of football for generations to come. Similarly, success at the national level for both youth and senior teams is anchored on creating a thriving hub of excellence. The establishment of the NMI Soccer Training Center, which also opened its doors to the community in 2018, is another remarkable accomplishment. I am confident that it will pave the way for NMIFA to scale new heights in the coming years. In every way, our youth represent our dreams and aspirations for a brighter future, and I applaud the NMIFA for achieving the AFC Grassroots Charter Bronze membership, once again exemplifying its outstanding commitment towards growing the love and passion for the beautiful game. At the same time, the NMIFA's teams are now competing more consistently in various AFC competitions across both men's and women's football, and these milestones are indeed a tribute to the foundations put in place by the association and its valued stakeholders. As you look to the future, I would like to reaffirm the AFC's commitment to the NMIFA and its key partners. Whether through the AFC Enhanced Program or the numerous development and educational initiatives, the AFC remains resolute in providing tailor-made support and assistance in enabling you to realize your ambitious goals. Once again, I congratulate you on reaching 20 years of passion, purpose, and promise. And the AFC looks forward to working in close partnership with you to unlock the full potential of football in your islands for the next 2 decades and beyond. I wish all of you a productive and successful Congress. Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, President of AFC.
President especially Marie Torrentino, and all distinguished guests, good afternoon. I'm delighted to join the 15th Ordinary Congress of the Northern Mariana Island today, even if only via video. Please accept my apologies for not being able to attend in person due to prior commitments. We are here to celebrate a truly special occasion, the 20th anniversary of NMIFA. NMIFA began as a small organization 2 decades ago, and the growth you have achieved is truly tremendous. Today, we acknowledge not only your expansion, but also your significant contribution to the beautiful game in this region. Despite challenges, MNIFA has demonstrated remarkable resilience and commitment by participating in all EAF competitions and AFC competitions. The journey to becoming an official AFC member association was not easy, and your dedication has laid the foundation for the future success. I would like to especially recognize the timeless efforts of President Jerry Tan. Your passion for the sport and relentless pursuit of football goals on the island is truly inspiring. Your leadership has fostered an environment where young talent can thrive, and your commitment to the community is highly commendable. As we celebrate this significant milestone, let us look forward to the future with hope and excitement. Once again, congratulations to the Northern Mariana Island Football Association on this incredible achievement. Here is to many more years of success and growth. Thank you.
President Jerry Tan, General Secretary Ms. Leigh Gases, Executive Committee members of the Northern Mariana Islands Football Association, and dear members of the NMIFA football family. On behalf of Japan Football Association, it is a great honor for me to join you today through this video to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the NMIFA. Since its establishment in 2005, NMIFA has built a foundation that is truly exceptional. And at the heart of its transformation was the leadership and the vision of none other than Jerry-san. I wish to express my deepest respect and admiration for Jerry-san. You not only founded the NMIFA, but has dedicated the past many years tirelessly promoting football for the unity and the joy of the people, especially the children of the Northern Mariana Islands. It is also particularly meaningful to highlight the long and determined journey through which NMIFA gained full membership of the AFC. This achievement was the result of Jerry-san's relentless dedication, even personally traveling to the United States, to FIFA, and to many international forums. JFA is proud to have walked this path together, and without question, this will forever stand as one of the greatest milestones in the East Asian football history. Let me take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to Bosan for years of dedicated service. And congratulations to Mali for your appointment as General Secretary, and I wish you very best. And as we look ahead JFS stands ready to deepen our cooperation with NMIFA so that together. Once again, congratulations to all the members of NMIFA, past and present, on your 20th anniversary. May the next chapter of NMIFA be filled with even greater success, legacy, and renewed hope. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
It's such a joy to join you, even from afar, as we celebrate 20 years of the Northern Mariana Islands Football Association. 20 years of passion, purpose, and promise. When NMIFA first began, it started with a simple goal: to give our young people a place to play, to learn, and to grow through the game of football. And 2 decades later, that small dream has become something extraordinary. Today, football is part of daily life in our islands. Families plan their weeks around practice and game schedules. You see parents in the bleachers after work cheering under the new lights at Colderville, and whole villages coming together on weekends to watch their kids play. It's become more than a sport. It's a community tradition that brings people together. Each of them reflects the heart and determination that built this organization. I think of the U20 women's team's historic victory in the AFC qualifiers, or the U23 men's team holding their own against China before a crowd of thousands. Those moments remind us that even small islands can stand tall when we play with courage, unity, and pride. But what's most inspiring is that NMIFA has never been just about the game. It has been about community, about the unsung heroes behind the scenes, the coaches who give their weekends, the parents cheering from the sidelines, and the players who grow into leaders through this sport. As we mark this milestone, I want to thank the NMIFA for its dedication to building opportunity through football, and the Asian Football Confederation for believing in the potential of our islands and investing in our future. The foundations we built ensure that the future of Mariana's football shines bright, and that the NMIFA's next 20 years will take our islands even farther on the international stage.
We also have presentations from the Office of the Governor, Office of U.S. Delegate Kimberly Hines, and the 24th Senior Maya Legislature. Will you please call on the Honorable Governor David M. Apatang for the first presentation, and NMIFA President, Mr. Jerry Tan.
Well, good evening, everybody. Tonight, I am very honored to be here to present this resolution to the NIPLA to celebrate their 28th anniversary. We want to thank you on behalf of our people of the CMI, especially our kids that have grown to really love these sports that you organize, Jerry. I have been working along with you for all this time, since the Masa area. I was part of Masa, and I want to thank you on behalf of our children and the women, especially playing the game on weekends, and the men, and everybody that have grown to love the sports. You started it, and you cannot quit. So thank you on behalf of people of the Commonwealth. I'm presenting this resolution. to show our appreciation for you and all the team and those who have worked in the past and present that are still taking care of our kids, keeping out of trouble on weekends especially. And we appreciate that. So, without further ado, Mossy, we love you guys from all our family and Commonwealth. Thank you, dear. Please accept this.
Thank you, Governor, on behalf of all the children, all the players, and everyone at NMIFA. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you.
May we now call on Mr. Matthew De Leon Burrow, Senior Policy Advisor to Delegate Kimberly King-Hines.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for allowing us to join in tonight's events and to celebrate the 20th anniversary of NMIFA and to present to you the record that was submitted to the House of Representatives on November 4th, commemorating and celebrating the 20th anniversary of NMIFA in CMI. In it, this was provided for the House floor by Congresswoman Kimberly King-Hines and will remain in the House record forever. So on behalf of Congresswoman King-Hines and I believe on behalf of the grateful community, thank you for all your work. Thank you for all your passion, for the support, for the community, and thank you to everyone in the room who push forward and make it happen on a regular basis. Thank you.
Thank you, our Congresswoman Kimberly Hines, and thank you, Matt, for handing it to us. Thank you.
And now, we please call on House Speaker Edmund Villagomez and Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider to present from the 24th CMI Legislature.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jerry. On behalf of the House of Representatives and the people of the CMI, we present to you Commemorative Resolution 24-5 to celebrate and commemorate 20 years of the positive impact that the NMIFA has had on the people of the Northern Mariana Islands. You know, as leaders, we try to encourage everyone to promote the spirit of community, and that's what the organization has done for 20 years. When I was trying to getting support for this resolution, everyone was like, wow, 20 years. 20 years. You know, they say time flies when you're having a good time, but time flies also when you're doing a very great thing for the community. The mission to promote a positive sports culture by putting together a professionally organized football association that welcomes everyone from all walks of life to participate is very inspiring. So happy 20 years and cheers to 20 years more and beyond. And like the governor said, don't quit. And all of you, you're doing a great thing, not just for the people here in the Northern Marianas, but this whole entire body on the international level. So once again, congratulations.
Thank you again, thank House Speaker Edward Villagomez for the kind words and your support over the years to the NMIFA family.
Good evening, everyone. First, my respect to all the organization members from all sectors in this side of the world. My respect to, when they say Congress, I say, what Congress? But my respect to this visionary, this gentleman here to the left of Mr. Jerry Dan, I couldn't have said it any better with the previous speakers, but if there's one thing that jumps out for us is your vision and the manner in which you bring the Northern Mariana Islands Football Association organization together over the last 20 years. And I recall one of the trips to Guam that I participated on your invitation is to see the field in Zico, I believe, in Harlem, and you said, we're going to bring this to Saipan. And boy, did you bring it. So, as what was mentioned earlier, is bringing people together, from all walks of life, children, men, women, and just growing the game of football. And we often dub it soccer. So, on behalf of Senate President Carl King Neighbors and members of the 24th Senate and the entire CMI community, please accept this commemorative resolution on behalf of the Senate to recognize and commend the Northern Mariana Football Association for its steadfast contribution to the sports community of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands on occasion of the association's 20th year anniversary. Congratulations, Jerry. This is awesome.
Move back.
Thank you all for the recognition. And before we officially proceed to our 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress, I just would like to acknowledge the presence of our former General Secretary of NMIFA, Mr. Bosmana. He's we are 20 years, so he was the General Secretary for 13 years. So he contributed more than half of NMIFA, so I think he needs to be acknowledged and be thankful for all the accomplishments and achievements of NMIFA for the last 40 years. On behalf of the Northern Marianas Football Association family, all the football clubs, we would like to thank you, Ross, for your dedication and all the efforts that you've done for NMIFA. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, moving on. May we call NMIFA President Jerry Han to call the meeting to order.
I would like to officially call the meeting to order for our 15th Northern Mariana Island Football Association Ordinary Congress.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will now go to item number 2 of our agenda, roll call. So, Kenowa Football Club, Latin Football Club, Matanza Football Club, MP United Football Club, Harry Football Club, Shirley's Football Club, Tinian Premier FC. We have 6 member clubs present. 1 member club is absent without formal communication to attend or not. So with 6 member clubs present, there are 6 eligible votes in total. 4 votes are the majority, and 4 votes are the 2/3 majority of those eligible to vote. Next item on the agenda is the declaration of convening. Can we ask the President to officially declare the Congress has been convened and composed in compliance with the statutes of NMIFA?
I declare. declare that the 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress has been convened and composed in compliance with all the statutes of NMIFA.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, the approval of agenda. The copy of the agenda was sent on October 7. So, delegates, do you approve the agenda for the 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress? Those in favor, please raise your green card. And those not in favor, please raise your red card. Thank you. We have 6 votes in favor, so agenda was adopted unanimously. So next item in the agenda is the President's address.
Once again, I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's Congress. But I also like to acknowledge a few more dignitaries, our VIP in the meeting tonight. First, we have Ms. Yasuko Takano. She's the head of the East Asia Unit, Member Association and Regional Association, and she's basically in charge of our region, which is 10 members strong of East Asia Football Federation. Welcome. I thought I would have a problem with this last name, now Takano. Yeah. And I'd like to also acknowledge and welcome Bolo by Sakam, Assistant Manager of Asia Unit of Asian Football Confederation, AFC. Welcome, Bolo. We deal with AFC every week, and these are the 2 person in charge of the East that we work with, and all the support that we are asking and getting has to go through Yasuko and Bolo. This is the 3rd visit for Yasuko-san. She's been here twice before, but first visit for Bolo, and they're both based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Thank you so much for flying here, and they arrived here last night. Thank you. And I'd like to also acknowledge our friend from Guam. We have the Guam Football Association General Secretary, our good friend Joseph Cepeda. And Guam Football Association Executive Committee member, Mr. Pete Torres. We were there last week, attend their, I don't know what Congress, but they were celebrating their 50th anniversary. So thank you for being here today, and we actually spent some time this morning having some good discussion. So I'd like to welcome our friend from Guam again. And I would have a little bit more presentation later on. So at this time, I just want to really thank our government officials. We just heard from Governor, Speaker, and Senator, and also representing Kimberly Hansland for taking their time to be here with us tonight. Can we give them another round of applause? And of course, I also like to acknowledge everybody in the audience tonight, starting with all the voting delegates representing the 6 clubs, and also everybody who took their time to be here tonight for joining us. Again, this is an annual congress, but this year take on a special meeting because it's our 20th anniversary. So we have a lot of things that we'd like to update all of you and share with all of you tonight. But just thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you.
Mr. President, moving on to item number 6 on the agenda, appointment of 3 scrutineers to check the voting. Pursuant to Article 27.E, the Congress has the authority to appoint the scrutineers. The scrutineers will count the votes for all motions, proposals during the Congress and the conduct of the proceedings for elections for secret ballots if needed. There is no election for this Congress, so the following individuals were recommended and approved by the EXCO as scrutineers. Mr. Dean Tenorio from Atlanta Football Club, Albert Flores from MPU, and Leigh Gases from Hiring. So delegates, do you approve the named scrutineers? Please raise your card. The appointment of the three I need to read. So, number of delegates eligible to vote 6, valid vote cast 6. So votes required for simple majority 6, votes in favor 6. Just to be reminded. So the appointment of the 3 scrutineers was unanimously approved. So may we ask the 3 scrutineers to sit at the designated area, please. Thank you. So moving on to the next item of the agenda, the appointment of 3 members to check official minutes of this Congress. Pursuant to Article 27.b, the Congress has authority to appoint the members to check the minutes of the Congress. So the 3 checkers will observe the proceedings of the Congress and will check the draft of the minutes after the transcription. The NMIFA Secretariat shall be responsible for recording the Congress and transmitting the minutes. The checkers must be duly appointed by representatives of their clubs or organization, must not be voting delegates, and must not be running for election. The following individuals were recommended and approved by the EXCO as checkers of the minutes of this Congress. Ms. Judy Mendiera from Latin Football Club, Kevin Macchio from Shirley's Football Club, and Ms. Shirley Kim from Kenowa Football Club. So, delegates, do you approve the appointment of the 3 members to check the official minutes of this Congress? Scrutineers, how many votes? 6. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the appointment of the 3 official minute checkers was unanimously approved by the body. May we ask the 3 minute checkers to stay at the designated area? Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, suspension or expulsion of members. For the record, there is no proposal for suspension or expulsion of any member during this Congress. Next, item number 9, adoption of minutes of the preceding Congress held on October 24, 2024. The minutes were distributed 30 days before Congress or on October 7, 2025, as required by the statutes. So no comments were received. So delegates, do you approve the minutes? Scrutineers, how many votes? 6. Thank you. So minutes of the 14th NMIFA Ordinary Congress was adopted unanimously. Thank you very much. So next agenda is the General Secretary Activity Report. Pursuant to Article 31.4 of the NMIFA statutes, The formal convocations shall be made in writing at least 30 days before the date of the Congress and include the annual activity report. An electronic copy of the activity report was sent to all clubs 30 days prior to the Congress or on October 7, 2025 for comments and questions. So no comment or question was received by the Secretariat, and the report was provided for information purposes only. The activity report can be viewed on the iPad provided. So this year, in support of the United Nations Football for Goals Sustainable Development Goals, we will implement paperless distribution of the convocation. We also prepared a video of the activity report. again, all credit also go to the club. Go to the club because without you guys, we will not achieve all the different activities that we did from September 2024 to October this year. So, Mr. Japan has something to say.
So, this year being our 20th anniversary, so I decided to share a little bit, not a little bit, but quite important milestone for the last 20 years. Very few of you were with me from day one, and the person who was with me from day one is off island, Ms. Vicky Isuka. So today here, just bear with me. I'm going to jump around different area, but I still can remember the first time I had a meeting with our first General Secretary, and it was, first of all, at the encouragement of One Football Association back in 2002, when we were in Japan for the World Cup. And so Mr. Leigh talked to me and said, Jerry, it's a lot of fun. We used to play together. Let's do something for the kids. It's from that conversation that I found Peter Coleman, our first General Secretary, at Shirley's Coffee Shop in Susupe. I do remember that quick chart. And that is how we actually started back in 2005. And I always remember I was invited together with some of our school members a few months after that to go to Guam. You know why? They were celebrating their, at that time, it was 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary back in 2005. We were there at Leo Palace, Joe Pete, for your big celebration, 30th. And I still remember that at that time, football was played at AMP with some of the kids. It's called CYSO. Help me out if it's correct, CYSO. And I think it's patterned after the American called AYSO. And there were some adults playing at other gym, mainly the Korean community, the players. And sometimes I remember the team has a team that traveled over to play. And that is really all we have. And we went to school almost like introducing the sport to the community, to the kids. And fast forward, I really never expected what we were able to accomplish together, milestone after milestone. And from day one until today, as your president, working with the executive committee member and the management, it's really never only about football. Sports means you have to compete, right? And you want to win. I played different sports growing up. Every sport I played, I want to win. But I followed football since I was a kid in Hong Kong. It's a British colony, so I was following Arsenal team, right? And today I kind of changed because of my twin brothers, so now I'm a Manchester United fan, right? But I know how long football has been playing. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary, but many football associations has been around for over 100 years. And I've been going to the World Cup since 1994 in the United States. That was the first World Cup I went to. So I kind of thought about it and say, okay, we will form the football association, but are we going to win? It's a tall order because every country has been playing for a long time. And I said, but we're not doing this just because we think we're going to win, right? Which we hope we can close the gap, we can improve and enjoy the game. But it's really about the community. It's really about our kids, especially. It was that mission 20 years ago. It is still the same mission today, right? That's why, to me, the most important day of the week during the season is not Wednesday game, it's not even Sunday game, it's the Saturday Youth League. That is why we're doing what we're doing, right? It's about the kids. And very happy to say over the last maybe 6-7 years, more and more parents are getting involved, right? They used to drop the kids, now they come in, spend time, and some of them actually play. Imagine that, right? So that's really something that we continue to do. We want to help to make this community a healthier community, right? Healthy lifestyle. But at the same time, we also really want to give opportunities to our children. And part of the presentation in a while, you will see what we're able to accomplish, right? When we live on a small island, I grew up in Guam and I thought Guam is small until I moved here. Then I realized how small the Commonwealth is, right? And it is really important that we want to give opportunity to our children, our kids, to be able to use sport, number one, right? Whatever they can pick up and learning from playing football. And secondly, have been able to, because of AFC, we're able to join the competition and really learn from the best and meet friends, right? Through sports, you make lifetime friends, right? And so that continues to be driving us forward. I went to Guam a couple of times with our team that went to Guam to play, and all they brought me is, Coach, they call me Coach. They say, Coach, when are we going to have a facility like Guam? I said, what a mistake, I brought them to Guam. So after a few years, I ran out of excuse. I said, we're working on it. So I'm proud that all of us go to our Northern Mariana Training Center every week, and I kind of added up, it is actually a $7 million, or $7.1 million facility that we first inaugurated our phase 1 in July 2018, only to be damaged partially 3 months later by Super Typhoon U2. Thanks to AFC, our mini pitch was fully restored. And we also went on to phase 2 to build our second pitch in 2022. And we just finished another building, which some of you saw on the video, right? Now you don't have to walk far to go to the restroom. Now when we invite Guam to come over, we have a changing room for them. And we now have a bigger conference room for any meetings. Some of you already probably inside have attended meeting in the new conference room. And that's part of the new improvement that with the funding coming from AFC, we got that stadium, correct? It's called stadium funding. And it's not easy. We have to go out and really work hard and raise money from wherever we can source the fund from, right? The partners that you saw earlier are very, very important and valuable partners. They've been with us for many years, not necessarily from day one, but over the years. You know, we could have done that without all the partners that you saw earlier on the slide. And with that, I want to actually share with you something on the screen. So our journey starts with leadership. Okay? And there's one gentleman here tonight. If you recognize him, okay? Guess who? Dean Tenorio. Give a big hand to Dean. And some of you probably remember Sue Connect, okay, of MPU, and Vince. Some of you play with him. Wes, I remember you play with him, Vince. And we have Leigh Tenorio, right? Yeah. And of course, Vicky is still with us, right? And this is the beginning of NMIFA. And these are our EXCO members from the very beginning. Not bad, huh? We found a picture. So. Okay, fast forward. I'm sure all of you know everybody, all the EXCO management team are here. And in particular, I want to formally introduce our newest technical director. We call him Coach Atsu. I think I saw you. Coach? And there was a video greeting from Japan Football Association. And we have Coach is now our fifth, including Coach Konomi, our fifth technical director from Japan Football Association, professional coaches, and they spend time with us and helping us to, improve on the technical side. So I just want to also mention Coach Azu, after many months of visa delay, so he finally got here about 3 weeks ago. So this is the current executive committee and management of NMIFA. Now, part of the journey is we started with club system. At the very beginning, there was no club system. So we decided, and out of the 4 clubs that we started, except Independent Football Club is not around anymore. We still have Matanza, and BU, and Pyrie. Give them a round of applause. And then that's back in 2008. Okay, it wasn't 2005, 2006, it was 2008. And these are all of you here tonight. These are the current clubs. Next. last 20 years, we have attended a total of 139 events, competition, friendlies, and training camps. I did not keep track of this number until recently, right? I wanted to find out. I couldn't actually believe that's how many events that our national team have gone out to really learn. Every time they go out, they come back better, right? 139. In total, our national team went to 24 countries, 43 cities. AFC has 47 members. So basically, we went to half of AFC members. Half. I couldn't believe our players, boys and girls, have the opportunity to go as close as our neighboring island, Guam, as far as Kuwait, Jordan, and as down south in Australia, north is Mongolia, Central Asia, Uzbekistan, right? And Asian, Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Singapore, just to name a few, right? And these are the 24 countries that they went to. I included Vietnam. We're going there this month. Our U17 boys are going to Vietnam actually this month. So I said, okay, let's include them. For the first time, we went to the Pacific mini game or Pacific game in Solomon 2 years ago. And we had one training camp in San Diego, just one time, for our US base, maybe about 6-7 players at that time. So we went to check them out, basically. I happened to be in LA, so I went out to San Diego. But these are the countries that I have never been to. I have been to maybe a couple of them, but our players, earlier I talked about the mission is really to give opportunities to our players. Thanks to AFC, thanks to EFF, our children have the opportunity that we as the parents don't have the same opportunity. Lindsay, I think you went to some of them, right? As our women's player. But really, I'm just so happy that we are able to give this kind of opportunity to our players, and mostly our youth team. Something that I don't think most would have the opportunity to do it in their lifetime, right? And again, it's not about we think we're going to go out and win. You know, when we joined AFC, we joined every invitation. Okay? We know what we are up against, but we joined. Because this is part of the journey, right? We know we're going to be facing some of the future World Cup players. Many of them are World Cup team, but we joined. Okay? And we see that we are improving. Doesn't mean we're going to win most of the time because other teams are improving, right? But we're definitely learning and improving every year. And you cannot have a program without going out and see what's out there. And basically, under the AFC format, we basically don't play with the same level. We play because of how they rank the team, right? And I told the players, I said, when's the next time you have a chance to play against Australia, for example, right? And we've gone down to Australia. We have played against Australia, even just recently, and we were down there in Australia also, for example. And a big country like China. The game that we showed, 31,000 fans was in the stadium that watched our U23. And we held China 0-0 for the first 47 minutes. 0-0. Are we not proud of our boys? Right? And then we have our first women victory, 3-0 over Bahrain this year, the U20 in Uzbekistan. Right? So, definitely we must be very happy and be proud of what our coaches, right, and our parents' support and our players' hard work. They train very hard throughout the year. But this is now 43 cities, okay? Because we went to quite a different places in different countries, multiple times in different cities. So they have the opportunity to actually travel to a total of 43 cities out of the 24 countries. So I thought this is important to share with everyone because, again, it's about giving our kids opportunities to play football. Now, I think we have won a couple games over the years. So I asked our former General Secretary Ross, I said, Ross, help me out, find out for me the record, right? To my surprise, we actually won 20 matches. Some of them, a few games is adult, like in Solomon, we played against American Samoa, we beat them 4-0 in Solomon Island, right? But most of it is really the youth, right? It could be U14, it could be U19, but they are the youth team. We had 20 wins over the last 20 years. I'll tell you honestly, because I follow football my whole life, to tell me that after 20 years, if we can have lucky just 1 or 2 wins, I'm already going to be very happy. Because every opponent is a FIFA member. We are the only non-FIFA member at ASC family. So every one of them, right, have a lot of resources that we don't have. But, we're there, right? Our boys and girls, they learn how to play the game under good coaching, they improve, they close the gap. On our good day, we're able to bring home some win. I also look at how many games we have drawn. We actually won more games than draw. We won 20 matches and we have 10 draw. Right? If you guys are interested to look at the details, right? We have it in the office. So 20 years, we won 20 games and we have 10 draw. In football, when you're not at the same level, forget about winning or drawing. Just to cross the half line, you could be defending 90% of the time. Right, Joe? Right, Pete? It's not easy, right? So to have a draw, to me, to us, is already something. When you know you are the underdog, very, very different level, right? And to be able to also bring home some draw. When we had the first draw, I felt like we won the World Cup. Because that's how difficult, that's how unlikely it would happen to us, right? So I thought this is also something that I want to share with all of you because we should be very, very proud of our coaches and players. Let's give them a round of applause. So, looking ahead, right, we have our 20-year journey. So I'm going to just share a few things that, looking ahead, we're going to leverage AI. Okay, everybody talk about AI, right? At NMIFA, we seldom talk about AI. But we better wake up and embrace the technology. And I think through AI, we're going to be able to really improve NMIFA in terms of efficiency, in terms of data analyzing, and come to the right decision very quickly. Okay, so I just want to share with you that this is one area that the management team and the executive committee will be really closely looking at. Okay, how can we improve our work by leveraging AI? We give every club $5,000 a year. You may not know, some of the leadership would know. I'm proposing to raise it to $10,000 starting 2026. Don't clap too fast. When you watch the financial report later on. I don't know where I'm going to find the money to do it, okay? But we're going to do it. I used to work up to 10,000. We're not just going to give you 10,000 just like that. There will be regulation. There will be certain conditions that we're going to attach to it because we learn from AFC, right? There's grant, there is condition, there is some regulation that we would like, and I put down here is something you guys been enjoying already to offset your league fees. I think the leadership of the club will appreciate because every time I ask Mariana how much the receivable, oh, this club owes 5,000, that club owes 2,000, blah blah blah. Okay, right? Very seldom she will tell me it's fully paid. Okay, so we help you to offset some of the league fees, right? And how much you owe is depending on how many teams you guys are able to sign up for, right? I put on trouble here for a reason. Even on the top level, I feel that it is very important for FA to see that every club is able to travel at the very minimum to Guam. I'm so proud, GFA, when you guys held the Youth Hall Festival, I believe all 6 clubs went. All 6 clubs went. When I found that out, I went. Because I hosted a dinner. I don't know if some of you were there. I hosted a dinner one night to say thank you for everyone because you may not realize you don't come to Guam a lot, but we go to Guam a lot. It's very, very expensive, right? But that did not stop the 6th club from fundraising and went to Guam, right? And participated and support GFA. But I want to see that more often, right? That's why we want to put some of the fund is for traveling. You decide how you want to spend that money, where you want to go. But we want to give you some money to encourage you that you should organize and take your kids to go out. I think that's part of their journey, right? It's not easy. We're still going to have to fundraise, but FA is here to support you. Okay? So I'm sure you guys are going to be very happy, but later on you will wonder how we're going to come up with the money. But that is something that you can look forward to, okay? And we really want to. We will be very happy at the end of the year, every year, that every club is able to avail the $10,000. Okay? The other thing that, of course, I need to spend more time with Coach Atsu is your technical support. This morning, we met with Guam. I developed this already since last week. But Guam and us this morning, we talk about exactly the same thing. How will GFA and NMFA able to help each club to raise the standard of their club players? Because at the end of the day, we all know our national team players is not a separate group. They came from all of them, all 6 clubs. But Guam also feel, if I can just borrow what we discussed this morning, that the coaches feel that we call tryout, right? You guys send the player, people come show up for the tryout. We need those people, the player, to be at a higher level. Okay? But honestly, I'm so grateful to the club for just being there, enjoying and participating. Especially, I understand the difficulty and challenges, here in the Commonwealth, right? And this is one area that I know everybody struggles, right? So part of the budget that we put in, even though we don't have enough money, is to actually hire coaches. And their job is to support the club. Okay? So we want to help you to really properly set up your technical department. Right? And how do we leverage our national team coaches? How do we get additional coaches to really support the clubs? Because I know that's one big headache. You need money and you need coaches. Am I wrong? Right? It's one area. So this is also an important area that we want to help you to develop your technical director and your coaches. Because your success is going to be NMIFA success. And the same effort for Guam. GFA is going to benefit a lot if they also do the same, which they will. So this is another area that I'll be working closely with the management and executive committee on how do we do this. Because this is one important area that I know the club really needs a lot of help. And I'm happy to announce that Altams as a brand is going to give every club, your whole club, an away uniform. We'll be talking about home and away, right? Sometimes there's conflict with the color, okay? So we will work with you more. You have your home uniform. Everybody has their home uniform. We will supply you through our time sponsorship a one full set of away uniform from your U6 all the way to your next agreement. Okay, so that is a $24,000 value sponsorship that we're able to secure so that I can announce it to all of you that you have to work with the management and we will hopefully get it done before the next season so that everybody has an away uniform. Okay. And one last area that I also would like to see is NMIFA, our national player, right? Sometimes we do some social responsibility. On the club level, we don't know anything about what the club is doing, right? But we also like to see that social responsibility become an important part of our football community, right? On the national team level, even on the club level. So we would like to also encourage and support you also when we can work together to see more contribution giving back to the community, right? And one idea actually is, if you cannot find any place to do some work, please tell NMIFA. Our pitch needs a lot of love, care, and sometimes a little bit cleaning. I'm so happy Laura went Monday this morning and told me, you know, it looks very clean. You know, I think I should show her on Monday morning. But we do take maintenance and cleanliness very seriously, okay, right? But if there's something, for example, last week I took a video, sent it back to the team, you know, even artificial turf has grass coming out, okay, right? I think we have cleaned it up already. But there's always some work that we can do if the club can also work with us to have a player. I think it's fun team building, right? And they can also help NMIFA, the facility where we all play on, right? On the same pitch. So this is something on the social responsibility side that as a direction moving forward, we want to be more committed in giving back to the community. I think this is my last slide. I hope you find my presentation interesting to share our humble beginning to where we are today. We intend to continue the journey with all of you for the next 20 years and beyond. But I really, really want to take the opportunity to thank our 6 clubs. Right? I always thank our management team and the staff, but at the same time, the clubs are all volunteers. None of you get paid to run the club. This is your love for your club, for your player, for your kids. Right? Rain or heat, you guys are out there. Okay? Every week, every other day. And with our economy today, you know, I want to tell our friends in Guam, you know, here nowadays, to even find one corporate sponsor is very, very difficult. Am I right? Because everyone is struggling. I don't even know how they're going to approach any company to try to ask for financial support when the entire community actually is really struggling financially, right? So, you know, it's not just money, funding. It's really the effort that you put in, right? And I always talk about Expo. We are nothing without the clubs. Our 6 active clubs is what we are, who we are at NMIFA, right? If not, why would we have the season? Where would we find a player for the national team, right? Yeah, the facility looks good, but it's nothing if you don't have a program, if you don't have people playing on, right? So I always remind myself, okay, and ask our management and our exco to always think, what else we can do to support the club? Because the more we're able to help you, the better job you do, ultimately, NMIFA is the one who benefits. Okay, overall. We all benefit together. Right? So that's something that we would all want to work harder, okay, to support all the club. But I just want to say on behalf of our executive committee and management, a really, really big thank you to all the clubs for what you do as volunteers over the last 20 years. See you in the next 20 years.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those generous donations to the clubs. Moving forward, moving on to the agenda item number 11, the presentation and approval of financial reports. So a copy of the NMIFA 2024 statutory audit report and audit financial statements was submitted on October 7, 2025. Article 32.2.I of the NMIFA statutes requires the presentation of the balance sheet and the profit and loss statements for the year 2024. Article 32.2.J requires for approval of 2024 financial statements, and Article 32.2.K requires presentation and approval of the budget for 2026. May we call on NMIFA Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Ellen Mariana, for the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. For presentation purposes, we have 2 presentation or videos. The first video is summarized and simplified to present the 2024 sources of funds and uses of funds. The other video is proposed budget for 2026 and also showing the sources of funds for the 2026.
Berger, Comer & Associates, certified public accountants, issued the independent auditor's report for the NMI Football Association. The financial statements referred to present fairly in all materials respects the financial position of NMI Football Association as of the 31st of December 2024 and 2023, and changes in its assets and its cash flow for the years that ended in accordance with the accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. The NMI Football Association's fund sources for 2024 amounted to $1,107,734. 41% of the fund sources came from the Asian Football Confederation, with the AFC financial assistance amounting to $459,532. The second biggest contributor to the NMI Football Association's funding sources is FIFA at 36%. Though the NMI Football Association is not a member of FIFA, we are deeply grateful to them for their significant contributions of $400,000 to the FIFA Forward program. The remaining percentage of the NMI Football Association funding sources came from the following: 8% or $80,758 from corporate sponsors, 6% or $70,766 from East Asian Football Federation, another 6% or $70,048 from players' registration and club league fees, 2% or $20,000 from Japan Football Association, and 1% or $3,630 from others. In 2024, with its various activities, local and international, and the manpower required to meet the NMI Football's growing needs, the NMI Football Association spent $1,210,309. 38% or $455,617 are spent on manpower and professional fees. The 36%, or $441,544, was paid for competitions and tournaments, local and international. Local tournaments include the Take Care Youth Leagues, Dub Women's League, MSL 1 and 2, AFC Grassroots Football Festival, AFC Women's Football Day, and others. In the international scene, our national teams competed in the AFCU 20 Men's Asian Cup 2025 qualifiers, AFCU 17 Men's Asian Cup 2025 qualifiers, EAFFU 15 Women's Championships, Mariana's Cup, Mariana's Friendlies, LPK Cup, and Women's Three Nations Cup. 15% or $182,084 went to training and development. In 2024, our national teams held training camps in Japan and Philippines, while the NMI Football Association, in partnership with the Japan Football Association, had its Junior National Academy program, the PE Support Program, and the PSS Interscholastic Soccer League. The remaining percentage, 10% or $118,834, are for facilities expenses, and 1% or $12,230 for others. Thank you.
Delegates, do you approve the 2024 audited financial statements? Swiftness, how many votes? 6. Thank you. The 2024 audited financial statements was unanimously approved, so we move on to the second video.
Fund sources identified for 2026 have amounted to $1,028,825, with AFC and FIFA combining for nearly 80% of the total fund sources. AFC and FIFA are contributing 39% each to the pie, with AFC providing $406,000 through various grants that the NMI Football Association has to apply for, and FIFA giving $400,000 again through its FIFA Forward program. EAFF is contributing 10%, or $99,500 to the fund source, while JFA remains committed to our youth development program with its $20,000 contribution, or 2% of the funding source. The NMI Football Association will get $77,800 or 8% from its registration and club and league fees, while corporate sponsors, pitch rental income, and others make up the remaining 2%. For 2026, the NMI Football Association is proposing a budget of $1,258,181. 44% or $547,704 will go to manpower and professional fees. 39% or $495,551 to competitions and tournaments with the national teams scheduled to play in at least 4 international tournaments in 2026. 6% or $77,213 for training and development. Another 6% or $70,000 and $42 goes to facilities expenses. And 5% or $67,671 for others, with the budget proposal for 2026 amounting to $1,258,181 and identified fund sources $1,028,825. The NMI Football Association has a shortfall of $229,356. In the NMI Football Association's continued efforts to support national team competitions and trainings, local football-related activities, coaches and other technical staff development, club leagues, and the growing interscholastic program, there was also a shortfall recorded for 2024 and 2025. Thank you.
So before we take a vote on the proposed budget, I just want to explain something. If you look at this last slide, negative. You remember the slide? Yes. Okay. We already went back, of course, the 24 audited financial statement for approval. In 2023, we actually have $200,000 excess. And that's the money that we were able to cover the shortfall of 24 and 25. Okay, so that's where we are able to cover. But in 2026, the budget actually went down. There is one extra time that is being eliminated at AFC program, the 50,000 that we have to remove because it's already officially will be removed. And the other funding is pretty consistent every year, right? And as I said earlier, that as you know, we all know that cost of living, traveling expense, everything continues to go up every year, right? It doesn't get cheaper, it only gets more expensive. So based on our plans and program, right, and based on the inflation, based on how costly, sometimes we get lucky, we play in Southeast Asia. We get unlucky, good for the kids, they go further away, but any trip somewhere between 50,000 to 100,000 is, Guam even told me higher than that, okay, right? But that is really the reality of what we are dealing with. But we're fully committed to continue the journey, continue to give the support to the program, whether it's domestically or international competition. And we are looking at some grants that we hope we can get, right? And we're also looking at some new grants available within AFC also. So we think that we will be able to secure additional funding to address the shortfall, right? And if not, I'll go to Guam to look for some support. No, I can't go to Guam football to support NYFA football. But there are people that care about CNMI, do business here as a regional company, that maybe we can also ask them for some support, right? We won't give up. We will continue to look for support. But today on the budget, if I were you, I'll be concerned, right, to cast the vote on the budget that is calling for 229,000 deficit. Okay, but we are confident the board, our EXCO met last Friday, approved the budget to be presented for the members' decision. So I want to say a few words to explain to you that at the end, if we have to adjust our plans and program, we will. We're not going to, be deficit when you don't have money to pay for some expenses. We have to adjust our program, but we are committed to deliver the programs because that's what we believe our players, our coaches deserve. And that's part of the journey that we want to continue to move forward every year. But I'm not going to put up any figure that we are not 100% sure. So that amount that you saw is, we know is committed to us. But we will continue to look for, we have time to work on several other grants. In fact, one is already under application last month. Okay, so we hope we can get some positive result on that. So that is how we come up with the budget, and with the hope that we will be able to actually raise additional funding to cover that as well. Okay, but that is a negative budget that we're presenting for your approval today.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, delegates, after hearing the assurance from our President, do you approve the proposed 2026 budget? Scrutiners, how many votes? 6.
Count again.
So, thank you. So the 2026 proposed budget was approved. Thank you very much. So moving on to our next agenda, item number 12, vote on proposal for amendments to the statutes of NYFA. For the record, there are no proposals for amendments to the statutes during this Congress. Moving on to item number 13. Discussions and proposals submitted by the members and the executive committee. There are no proposals submitted for the discussion by the members of the EXCO for this 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress. The next agenda is item number 14, the appointment of independent auditors. Berger, Comer, and Associates is recommended to be appointed as NMIFA's independent auditors for 2025. PCA is an established auditing firm with offices and staff in the CNMI, Guam, and Palau. It has a wide range of clients of known businesses and government establishments throughout Micronesia and the U.S. mainland. Based on its credentials and the quality of service provided through the years and the reasonable rate of professional fees, it was again recommended and the NMIFA Executive Committee approved. So the proposal to the 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress to retain the firm Berger, Comer, and Associates to be the NMIFA's independent auditor for 2025 with the option to renew the appointment in 2026 based on performance. Delegates, do you approve the appointment? Witness, how many votes? 6. Thank you. So the appointment of Berger, Comer, and Associates as NMIFA's independent auditors was unanimously approved. Thank you very much. So up next is item number 15, dismissal of a person or body. For the record, there is no dismissal or suspension to be presented at this Congress. Our last item on the agenda is the closing remarks and adjournment. So that before we proceed, may we call on our guest from Guam, the General Secretary of Guam Football Association, Mr. Joseph Sabel.
Afternoon, everyone. It is actually an honor to be here on this 20th anniversary. I think we started this journey together, Jerry, 20 years ago, so we're very proud. I'm very proud of where you guys have come and where you guys are at now. And today, on behalf of President Tino Sangil, the Executive Committee, Pete's here to represent them. We congratulate you guys on your 20th anniversary. But we're also here to affirm or confirm our commitment, our partnership, as this trophy shows, handshake. I would like to confirm our commitment to continue our partnership together in growing this sport in our region. So Jerry, congratulations. And it is an honor to work with a person who believes that there is more to football than football. And it is the life skills that we teach the kids that we work with. So congratulations, and just not for the next 20 years. I hope we're still alive to get this one work with. You have an awesome team, and I came from the clubs as well, and I know the struggles, and I believe in what Jerry is doing and what the executive committee is doing. So congratulations on your 20th anniversary, and good luck.
we've been together on this journey together with Guam Football Association. I think we probably can find some information and pictures to show Coach Suki, also a coach deployed by JFA to Guam at that time, came over. George Stewart, he's still around. I saw him last week at Guam Football Congress, helped us on the referee from the very, very beginning. And I always remind everyone in the football community here that we compete on the pitch, but this journey, they have been a great partner. Even when we were doing the pitch, they opened book here. Take a look at all the design, all the construction drawing. And that's an example of how Guam Football continue to support us, right? And we love the competition. Our boys and girls love to have this rivalry and really play against each other. But off the pitch, more importantly, is we really have enjoyed the support from Guam Football Association. And there's so much we continue to learn from Guam Football. They've been around for 50 years. They've been a FIFA member since 1996. So they know a lot. So we think that it's great for them to always be around to support us in the last 20 years, and I know for a fact that we will continue to actually get the support from Joe, from Tino, from Pete, from President Tino, and all the executive committee members whom I know, all of them, and I know a lot of the club people also. So no doubt we will continue to get the support. So let's give a big hand to Guam Football Association. When I came up, I was looking at the back looking for Ross. I thought you left. Okay, come up here, Ross. Joe is the counterpart of Ross as the General Secretary, and I think Merle mentioned that Ross has been exactly 65% of the 20 years, which is 13 years, as the General Secretary. So he has been working very closely with Guam Football Association. So I would like him to receive this plaque on behalf of NMIFA. This is also my chance, our chance to say our thank you and appreciation to our excellent, long-time General Secretary, Ross Panta, that even in Japan football video that Miyamoto-san actually mentioned also. You were here, right? Yeah, you were here. So really, we really have to thank Ross a lot because it's a lot of pressure being a General Secretary, trying to deal with everything and continue to grow. The more you grow, the more issues, the more problem. Okay, we all know that, but we love it. We welcome that. But that, is his 13 years at NYFA, and this is his partner. Tino was the General Secretary at the beginning, right? The President Tino, he's now the President. But for the last how many years now, Joe has been his counterpart. 4 years. 4 years, right? So that's why I want to bring up, Ross at this time, so everybody can say our thank you to Ross. And then I want also Ross to receive this from our closest partner, which is the Guam Football Association. Okay? And let's give a hand to Ross.
Thank you very much, Jerry, for giving me the privilege to work with NMIFA. It has been a very exciting and wonderful journey for me. And I'm very happy that I had the full support of the Mexico from the very start, and with the wonderful help from Guam Football Association from the very start. I learned a lot from Tino and also from Joe, and they've been always helpful to us throughout our existence. And I wish that this 28th year will just continue on you and NMIFA.
To also come up for a quick picture. Anna, Lily, Deputy, please come up. This is our close neighbor, very good friend. Don't be shy. They only like to meet us on the beach, but off the beach they're very friendly. Thank you, Juan, for the presentation.
Now, we call our executive committee member, Wesley Golden, for the closing remarks.
Thank you, everyone. As the 15th NMIFA Ordinary Congress comes to a close, we would like to extend our gratitude to everyone who has taken the time to come here tonight. Your presence reflects not only your commitment to our association, but also to the belief in our power and ability through football to strengthen our island and the people who live here. Our appreciation also goes to the many individuals and partners and organizations, both within the Northern Mariana Islands and across the region, who have stood with us throughout the past 20 years. The NMIFA's journey has not always been easy. We have faced many challenges, yet each of these moments has shaped us and brought us to where we are here tonight. The progress we have made in the past 2 decades from grassroots development to international participation, from building coaching capacity to elevating youth and women's football, represents far more than just organizational achievements. They are testaments to what we are a devoted community can achieve. As we look ahead, we do so with renewed motivation and confidence, with the continued support of all our stakeholders, our clubs, coaches, referees, volunteers, parents, government partners, and the wider football family. I am certain that the NMIFA will continue to build on its foundation and usher in many more meaningful and historic years of football for the Northern Mariana Islands. Thank you once again for your dedication, your time, your trust, and for your belief in the NMIFA.
Before we ask the NYFA president to officially adjourn the Congress, I just want to also say thank you to our hardworking and dedicated NYFA staff for everything that you do. It's working for a nonprofit company, profit organization. It requires a lot of hours that you need to put in. I just want you to know that you are valued and appreciated with everything that you do for NYFA. Thank you very much. So now we ask NYFA President Jerry Tan to officially adjourn the 15th Ordinary Congress.
I'd like to also ask the 6 clubs to vote if we want to adjourn for dinner. You have the choice to raise the flag as you please. 15 years. 6. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you. you know, this is a beautiful scene. Mon, yeah, can you come and take a group picture from this angle?